Alright guys, Game Time Legends here. In this video we have HellDivers on the scene. This video is basically going to be a quick tutorial of all the important things you guys need to know as beginners, as far as stratagems, weaponry, and all the stuff that you just don't want to miss out as beginners. So if you're interested, be sure to watch to the end of this video. And if you're new to my channel, I do a lot of tips, tricks, glitches, and gameplays. So if you like those stuff, be sure to like and subscribe because I have a lot more coming. That being said, let's get into it. Okay, so once you're aboard the ship, there are two important areas that you constantly want to check out as you level up. This area right here is the ship management area. Right here, you can change the name of your ship. And right where it says stratagems, if you go over to the stratagems area, this area is one of the most important parts of the game. So what are stratagems? Stratagems are basically backup equipments or reinforcements that the ship will send down to you to aid you when requested. There are a variety of these super helpful stratagems, and unfortunately you don't have access to all of them. You have to unlock them as you level up in the game, of course. But great news is the machine gun is available at the beginning of the game. So I definitely recommend requesting it as soon as the game starts so the ship could send it down to you, just so that you will have it accessible when needed. And I'll show you exactly how to do all that further on in the video. So the next three stratagems are unlocked at the beginning of the game, but not available or accessible because you still have to purchase them in order to get them. But luckily you don't really need them at the beginning of the game. The machine gun should be more than enough. So nevertheless, I'll still go over them. First up, we have the anti-material rifle. This is basically a sniper. It works just like a sniper gun. So if you want to go up on a high place and shoot from the distance, this is what you'll want to use. The price to unlock this is 5,000 Rs. The R stands for requisition slips, but I'll just say R just to keep it simple. And that's not a lot at all. We're going to go over how to gain a lot of currency and experience further on in the video, but I will just say this: play with other players. Don't play solo because it takes a very long time and it's a lot harder. Next up is the Star Wars. It's just a low caliber machine gun. Not that much different from the regular one other than the fact that it has an easy reload. You could reload it on the run other than the regular one where you'd have to stop. But I would definitely recommend getting it just so you'd have two machine guns. Now, this one is an expendable anti-tank. It's basically like a missile launcher, and it definitely packs a punch. But it isn't really needed unless you're fighting bigger enemies or enemies with high defense or armor. And guys, I really want to stress, do not dismiss these, because when I first started playing, I'm pretty new to this game, and I didn't know about these stratagems. So I was playing the game. Of course, I was getting slain because I didn't know about them. I didn't even know about the machine gun until I played the tutorial and saw the stratagems. So definitely play the tutorial as well. But you don't want to just dismiss these stratagems because they will come in very handy and are a major advantage when taking on these deadly foes, and may be your only ticket out of death's path. So this one, it is unlocked at the beginning of the game. It's called Orbital Gatling Barrage. Obviously, as you could see in the preview, it takes out a good amount of monsters in the area. You just put a beacon down wherever you want to strike, and then missiles will start striking the enemies in that area. The next one is the Orbital Airburst Strike. It unlocks to level 5. Level 5 is not hard to get to, and we'll talk about the levels further on in this game. Obviously, you want to know how to level up as fast as possible. The next three are also unlocked, but as you can see, you still have to pay for them, so you can't use them right away. Same with the Orbital Gatling Barrage. A lot of these other ones aren't unlocked yet, and that's okay because this is a beginner's guide. But that's the basis of the stratagems, at least for this beginner's guide. I know there are a lot more, and I will be going over them and comparing them with each other as I level up and unlock them as I progress throughout the game. So this section right here is the ship module. I'm not really going to go into a lot of details because it's more advanced stuff, but basically the ship module affects the way the stratagems work. Like I mentioned earlier, stratagems are basically supplies, equipment, or artillery that the ship sent down in order to aid you in your mission. Whatever you request, they will send down, and the module basically affects the way these work. So for example, where it says exploding shrapnel on the orbital cannons, This module reduces damage fall off from center of explosion caused by orbital stratagems. And on the right hand, right next to it, you will see all the different orbital stratagems that it will affect. So all these stratagems right here, let's go to the orbital section. It will affect them. So that's basically what the ship module does. Once you unlock them, they will affect the way the stratagems operate. The first option on the list where it says donation access license, it tells you how much you need to donate. It says 60. Obviously I don't have enough, so I only have 14. But in order to unlock all of these, you have to unlock them in order. So I have to unlock this one first, and at the bottom of the screen it tells you your requirements. So in order to unlock the streamline request process, I have to unlock the one above, which is donation access license. In order to unlock the hand cards, I have to unlock the streamline request process, and so on and so forth. Same thing with these. This is 100. In order to unlock more guns, I have to unlock exploding shrapnel. So that's the basic overview of the ship management. Now there's another section over here in the center of the ship. It says armory. In my opinion, it also should say weaponry because it has both, but it says armory and it has all your weapons and armors. Once you click into it, first thing you'll see is your primary weapon, your secondary weapon, and your grenade. And at the top in the other tabs, you will also see armory, character, boost, and career. Once you click into your weapons, you will see their names and all the information you need to know about them. Your primary starter will be an assault rifle and your secondary a pistol. Now, if you're wondering how to unlock more weapons or armory, all you have to do is hit X if you're using a controller, R if you're using a keyboard. Click into where it says Warbound Progression, and then you'll see the guns and the different armories that you can unlock. In order to unlock them, you'd have to collect medals, which you can acquire as you complete missions in the game. Now, the first gun that you can unlock is the shotgun, and I highly recommend unlocking this as soon as possible because the damage stats on this gun is much higher than the others, allowing you to take out stronger enemies with fewer hits as long as they don't have armor. Even though the automatic rifles are much more fun to use with their continuous automatic spray, they don't really pack a punch like this gun, so I definitely recommend getting this gun as soon as possible, especially if you're a beginner. But as you level up and obtain more medals, you'll be able to unlock more equipment, armors, and weaponry that will help assist you better in the game. And if you're wondering how to see the stats for your weapons and armors, all you have to do is hit Y for the controller or tab for your keyboard. And if you go back to your armory, you'll see that any weapons or armor that you unlocked will be listed right here. If you want to compare the weapons, all you have to do is hit Y if you're using controller and tab for the keyboard. Once you're ready to go into battle, all you have to do is head to the huge computer terminal at the front of the ship. Once you activate it, you will see a huge map of the Galactic War. One side on the left, you will see it says automatons, and the right side will see terminites, which are the bugs. The automatons are the robots. You can choose whichever one you want to go to. Once you click into the different areas, it will show you their status and what's been liberated from what hasn't been. And you could just choose wherever you want to go to join the Galactic War. Once you reach to this globe right here, you will see the different players that are playing in each section. For example, you can see that there's one player already playing in these two areas. There's 4 players that could play total in each area. If you want to go solo, you would have to find a place that nobody's at. You could also just go into a quick game by hitting R or X if you're using the controller. The system would automatically find a place for you to go without you having to do the extra work. But keep in mind, if your settings is on public or crossplay, which it will be at default, players will be able to join the game anytime. So if you want to go private or solo, make sure you turn them off. But I wouldn't recommend it at all, at least not in the beginning when you're trying to level up and gain some currency. I know it kind of sucks when you are crap, you're a rookie, you can't bring nothing to the team, everybody's playing good and you keep dying and all that stuff, but sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. And yes, you definitely will get kicked from the team if you're that bad, but if you could stay in there long enough until you get the experience before you get kicked, that's all that matters. Just join another team until you get to the level that you need to be or you want to be. So right here, it tells you the danger zone. You don't want to start here. We want to start further out here. Okay. So let's just go here. This is where I'm going to be landing. Next, to get my equipment, select your offense and supplies. Then go back and hit the minus button to start the game. We ready for battle. And I will tell you, this game is not easy at all. Unless you're used to games like these, trust me, you will get slain a lot. And that's why I say it's always best to play with other players, especially when you're trying to level up. Because in order to gain experience, you have to complete the mission. Ain't no halfway. I also recommend, if possible, try to collect as many samples or items as possible while out on the field, because it will help you progress a lot faster in the game and give you access to other equipments and materials. But for the purpose of this video, I will be going solo so I could show you how to use the stratagems more effectively, because if I'm on a team, I will have to move fast. I won't have no time to do that. So upon landing, to bring up the list of stratagems, all you have to do is hit L. And then you'll see a box with all your list of stratagems appear on the top left hand corner. Upon starting the game, you will have the 6 stratagems available. To call them in, all you have to do is put in the combination they ask for, whether you're using the D-pad on the controller or the keyboard. Once you call them in, you will see them fly down, and you want to make sure you step back because you don't want them to hit you. If you're playing solo, reinforcements is automatically activated once you die. If you're playing with other players, you would have to put in the commands in order to bring them back. The SOS beacon is basically a device that sends out a signal to other players indicating that you need help, so they will be able to come in and help you out. So definitely use it if you're struggling on your solo missions. Resupply is basically what it says. If you run out of stems or ammo, just activate the resupply stratagem and the ship will send you down more supplies. The Eagle 500K bomb and the orbital precision strike are basically air support stratagems that I mentioned earlier. Just call on them and the ship will send down support that will bombard a specific area of your choosing and wipe out a good amount of enemies. So definitely take advantage of these 2 stratagems. When I first started playing, I didn't know about them. So when I was getting chased or swarmed by all these different enemies, all I could have done is run and use the little rifle and pistol that I had, which really didn't do much. Opposed to if I did know about it, I could have just used it and wiped all the enemies out. And to make matters worse, since I didn't know about the stratagems at all, I didn't even have the machine gun to help me out, so you know it was a nightmare. Now I wanted to go over how to use the map to show you how to navigate and complete missions, because the map is literally one of the most important things when completing your mission, because it's the only way you could really navigate and know which way you're going, and it also allows you to communicate with other players. It can be accessed by hitting the minus button on the controller and some other button on the keyboard. Sorry, I really don't use the keyboard that often, and I don't know how you keyboard users do. I find it very difficult when I always have to try to find the right buttons on the keyboard, and yes, they show you what buttons to press on the screen, but still, you still gotta look for them, opposed to when you're using the controller. All the buttons on the controller has a function and it's a lot less. But you guys got that. But this video took a lot longer than I expected, so I will be going over how to use the map, how to complete missions, along with other useful tips and tricks in another video. So be sure to stay tuned. But that's pretty much it for this video. If you got anything out of it, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next. Game Time Legends is